And welcome to the Art Hitman. I'm Perry McCants, and today I'm going to show you how to draw Bliss from the Powerpuff Girls. Now let's get started. Start your line from the top of the page to the bottom, creating a vertical line, and then come across with your horizontal line. We want to create 4 squares here so that we know where we want the figure to be on the page. We want to start in the upper right. Let's go ahead and do a nice size circle here, slightly off center. And once you got that complete, let's go ahead and put her body in. Just put simple 2 lines here. Close the bottom portion off and cover this area, and let's go ahead and fill this out a little more. Now we'll go ahead and start with her legs, and it's going to be in the lower left hand side, and this shape is just going to come down almost towards the bottom, and this end here is going to swoop around like so. It's going to come back up, and we're going to close that off. Now notice that I did this shape here coming down and around and back up. It's a very simplistic shape for a leg, and her left leg is going to come around. It's going to be a raised knee, and we're going to measure it. So I'm going to do this leg in half with index and thumb, and then I'm going to bring it over here, and that way we can measure it. Come around with a simple oval shape. Once we have that established, we can go ahead on, and there's a simple line that comes across here for her top of her dress. It's going to be the bottom of her skirt, and she's wearing a stocking, so let's bring that line in on her left leg, and that's where her shoe is going to end. So let's measure that, where the stocking and the shoe begins, and bring that over here. Let's go back and check it again, and then bring that line in here, straight across. Now let's go ahead and divide the head in half and begin putting some of the face features in. Now we're going to start with our hairline, and it's a simple half oval shape. You're going to come off the edge of her head and come in to the center. Come down, make a point, and then come back up to where the middle line is dividing on her head. Come down again, come over a little bit, bring that one line up here, close it off, and then come off the left side of her head here. Now off of that, we're going to come in with the frown line. You're going to come up and then do the same thing for her left side. It's going to go straight into her hair. Now for her eyes are going to take up almost the whole entire portion of the right side of her head, so you don't have to do a whole circle. You just do the half circle and come off the edge of her face here. Same thing for the left side. Fill that half circle all the way around and just take it off the edge of her face. Let's define this line over here. I'm going to define that line for you. Now, her iris takes up a large portion of the eye as well. So we're going to do another half circle within that circle that's already been established. And then there's another complete circle right here. Then the color of her eye is going to be right where I'm putting this line here. and there's very little white showing in this little space in the corner. Now let's move her to her left eye and do the same thing. It's the same process. We'll start where the actual iris is, and it takes up that much of the space. And lightly bring that pencil around, and then come to the bottom side of it and close it. Then we're going to bring the outer portion of the eye around. And you don't need to worry about the other side because it's just white space. Now we're going to put the circle in for the left eye, just like the right eye. Now we're going to go concentrate on her mouth. There's a simple U shape, so let's put that U shape in. It's like you're writing the letter U, and then repeating that same U shape to close the top of it. And then put her tongue in. It just goes straight across like that. Real simple. Now let's close off the top of her head. And she has a bow that goes across the top of her head, so let's put that in. And it's just a simple curve that goes over top of the entire portion of her head there. And she has a heart that comes out of the top of that band, so let's draw that. It's a simple heart shape. And then she has what looks like a ponytail that comes out of the back. And it's a V. It's the letter V. Now let's come down here. And we're going to concentrate on her right arm, which is behind her head. And it's going to come up and around to the top of the page. And it's just like her foot. And then you're going to bring it back down and then close that. Which makes drawing this character really simple because they don't have digits or fingers. Now for her left arm, it's going to come from underneath her head and come around. And we're going to repeat the same thing we did with the right arm. Come up around and close it with a curved edge. Now, with her foot, we have a minor detail here where it looks like it's a bow, and it comes around this on the open front right here. It's a white space. And the same thing on her left foot. Now we're going to start with her hair. Her actual rest of her hair is going to swoop over and it's going to come out. And how we're going to measure that, it should come about mid-thigh. So swing that line around. Go ahead and draw through that leg, not too light, not too heavy. I mean, come behind the foot, swing it back around, and then we're going to meet from the other side and do the same thing on her left side. Swoop it up, curve it, come down, and meet that line. I didn't always meet it all the way, but we're going to darken this line in and let that curve come on around. Now she has lock splits, so we're going to do one right here. This is lock split number 1, and you're going to close that off. Of course, make it a little bit darker so it stands out. The second one's going to come right about here. And bring that line back in and darken the edges. That way we know which one is which. So we dark each one, and the ones we don't want, keep it light. So we'll go behind her foot here. We don't see that one. It's covering that split. The next split's going to be right here. So it's come up near her knee. The next one is going to be right under her arm. And then darken that edge in. Next one's going to be right near her hand. The final one's going to be just like it is on the right side, so let's go ahead and continue that. And do the same thing for the left side. Bring that curve in and come back out. Close that off. Now, I'm going to go ahead and shade this part in, and I'm going to speed up. Alright. Now, if you just drawn along with me up to this point, I'm going to straighten everything up and clean it all up and make sure everything is all ready, and you can pause it at the end and take a look at it.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe by clicking this round button at the bottom. Also, click one of the 2 videos at the top. Please like this video, tell a friend, and share it on Facebook. Thank you.
The Art Hitman.